Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
And I saw they had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Cousins. He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
They run for the first time with James Cook. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. He was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The numbers for Mixon last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And tackled down after a gain of 3, leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. Back to throw. McLean. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
The Bengals at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw. McLean. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked up by Jonathan Jones.
And the Vikings will take over possession here. 44.
Defensively that time they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
The numbers for Smith a week ago:
3 catches, 67 yards.
And you can tell early, they're going to look his way quite a bit, and he made himself available on that one.
Cousins.
And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll run it. Here's Cook, able to slither by. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They were.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Charles Harris, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the 1st quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this 1st quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Touchdown! Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, That's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner.
Open man is Chase, complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Mixon with a first down carry. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice scoring run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
Down right around the 25.
I do know from experience, when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. McLean. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Another try for Mixon. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. McLean. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon
From 4 yards out.
And the Bengals are back within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a Bengals score.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He'll throw from the gun.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. The offense on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Mixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Cousins on 1st down.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. James Cook, 41 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Cincinnati set to take over once again. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. McLean throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Looking to throw. McLean. He's going to air one out for Anderson. They've got his man complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Once again, we got to get it done as a group. I'm back to work, boys.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to Mixon, and this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Back to throw. McLean firing quickly here, and that's complete. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop him with 16 seconds to go in half number one. On fourth down, McLean. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they may just be content to take this three-point lead and head into the locker room. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. So we've reached halftime. No break needed. Let's get back to it. Week 3, here we go with quarter 3. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Looking to throw. McLean. And Ingram hauls it in. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Mixing up the middle. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Mixon. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, McLean.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they're going to work this.
32-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff running left, Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met past the line of scrimmage.
Tackle there by Lewis Seed.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time to make sure you get in shape.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will tie things at 17-all.
So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. Second down.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
Now Cousins. Flushed out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
He'll dump this off to Cook. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick here is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, the offense, they've really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
A good-looking return set up here. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. McClain.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. On 1st and 10, McClain.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That's on the guard, Alex Kappa.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McClain.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Hard to guarantee they approach this point with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time.